IVM.
Hi everybody, just wanted to ask everyone for a quick favor. We're running a brand survey right now and would really appreciate it if you could let us know what you think about the advertising on IVM. Go to ivmpodcast.com/survey and do let us know. As part of this, we'll be selecting 10 random participants and sending them some IVM swag, so do fill out those surveys.
All right. Hello. Welcome to Football Twaddle. My name is Saru and Yash Sawan is here. What's up, Yash?
Hey, man. Saru. We're doing well.
Yes. From the last time we recorded to now, 3 managers, I think, have been sacked.
Damn.
And obviously 2 have been hired. 1 is about to be hired. Newcastle also has a manager.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, since it's an international break, we're just going to talk a lot about managers. But let's start with the one manager who has not been sacked.
Mm-hmm.
What is stopping Ed Woodward?
So I think what they, there's an expression that cats are like human beings. If you torture them enough, they can sing any tune you want.
All right. So torture this cat
So if you look at Solskjaer's 2 full seasons before this, in both those seasons, his position was lower at this point in time after 11 games. So he was, in his first season, he was 10th. In his second season, he was 8th. Now he's 6th. So there's a steady progression of 2 positions. And apart from that, even if you look at points, last season he did have 3 extra points, but the season before he did not. So yeah, this is how Ole starts. I'm assuming that the owners and whatever the higher ups are hoping that he wields his magic wand and turns the season around as he has before.
No, hoping is fine, but I think the main question everyone's asking, and I don't know suddenly how this becomes a question. If they sack him, like, who is available? Like, isn't like a big club supposed to keep such things ready?
Yeah, but I mean, Manchester United are epically mismanaged. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the stories going around on social media are that this is Ed Woodward's like last phase, his last quarter or something, and so as his last act, he doesn't want to sack Ole. He doesn't want to be the evil guy who sacked club favorite.
I read because he doesn't want to sack a popular player. Yeah. So the reason
actually, like a former player.
Yeah, he doesn't want to sack a popular figure. He does not want to be doing that. So people are replying to them that this will be the most popular decision you're going to make right now. So, but anyway, so
all of these are theories, just like all the theories about who's supposed to replace him and all that.
Yeah. All right. One more thing about Manchester United. Paul Pogba got injured just trying to kick a ball, and it looks like he's out for 8 weeks or 9 weeks. And from January, he can basically negotiate with anyone. Have we seen the last of Paul Pogba at Manchester United?
Yeah. I mean, as talented as Pogba is, it never worked out at Manchester United, and he creates more problems than he solves.
No. I mean, like, he's not going to play for United anymore types.
No. The season is long. I'm sure there'll be a couple of FA Cup games or useless Champions League matches which he ends up playing.
All right. Let's talk about happy things. The people who have been hired. Our club, Newcastle. Yes, it has Eddie Howe. In How We Trust. And I saw his press conference. Oh man, I forgot how sweet, charming, honest, and open Eddie Howe can be.
Yeah, there are a bunch of good things you can say about Eddie Howe. And as I mentioned on our last pod, that hiring Eddie Howe is a very, very long-term commitment. I'm sure the football will improve leaps and bounds, and there'll be a much more charming figure on the touchline.
Yes. Oh, and did you know one thing? Talking about long term, the average tenure of a manager used to be 1.3 years at any club, if you just like average it out. Over the last 2 years, it has been increased to about 1.8 years.
Yeah.
So clubs are willing to give managers longer rope.
So, but the cynic in me says that it's just the pandemic, which is why clubs don't want to pay the severance.
That's okay. Whatever. Like, our club is so rich, Yash. So
our club is very different.
So one of the questions asked of Eddie Howe is very, very specific. Eddie, you had the moral compass to take a pay cut when the pandemic struck to help your club. bridge over the finances or whatever. And now you come to Newcastle, where there are gross human right concerns over Saudi Arabia. So how do you reconcile the moral part of your personality along with the ownership of your club? What do you think Eddie Howe's answer was?
I have no clue.
I concern myself only with the football matters of the club, and that's all I'm here to do, a job. And I really don't want to speak about anything else.
Well,
See, that's simple.
yeah, yeah, it's that simple. I mean, he'll have a good career in other things as well, like PR.
Man, but some of the questions were so banal. Like, one of the questions they asked was, uh, you like are now the manager of one of the wealthiest clubs in the world, maybe the wealthiest club. So, like, what are your aims and goals? And Eddie Howe, I think that was like probably the most honest and answer I loved a lot. He said, my job is to save Newcastle from relegation this year. Rest everything can wait. And that is all I'm focused on. Man, I mean, yeah, you knew that I wanted like
Yeah.
Fonseca and everything, but I'm actually quite happy that Eddie Howe is the manager. He's 42 and
Right.
he can do a good job in 2-3 years.
I think he'll be very good at the club. He'll get the best out of Almiron and all the other
Yeah.
chaps.
And if you listen to True Geordie, and he was talking about Eddie Howe's appointment, and he said, "Oh, Steve Bruce, you mean the man who was asking for respect? Didn't he say Eddie Howe? Like when people ask them, what do you make of rumors of Eddie Howe joining Newcastle? It seems Steve Bruce that you mean that fella who got sacked from Bournemouth."
Well, I mean, coming back to Brucey, his sack list is very long, so he shouldn't be the one talking.
Yeah, he shouldn't. But I think what True Jody was trying to point out was, the good nature of Steve Bruce and how he doesn't speak bad about anyone.
No, to be fair, I think Steve Bruce is at such an age that he actually forgot who how.
Oh, he can say whatever he wants. Yeah. So Eddie Howe's taken training for 2 days, and you can make out from the press conference that he screamed his lungs out and his voice is gone already. Our club needs some major repair work, Yash. And if you
That's
don't get our first victory in this
yeah.
month,
Come on, Newcastle.
I will have to take some championship street services. It does not look good, the table.
Yeah, but I mean, less than a third of the season is up, so
Yeah,
there's time to go, miles
I
to
don't
go.
even think Van de Beek is coming now that he's getting precious 7 minutes each game at Manchester United. So, oh, another managerial appointment. Antonio Conte back at Spurs.
Oh man, now Spurs will be a decent force again. Their football may not be great, but I think they're a real top four threat.
Is what you think. But so today a massive PR job has come out on Antonio Conte
Mhm.
and his first 48 hours at Spurs,
Right.
and how after the Vitesse game or something, he wanted to have a 25-minute video analysis, but he just like found out so many things that the video analysis took 75 minutes with the players. One more thing, Antonio Conte has banned mayonnaise and ketchup from the stadium and
From the stadium, so the fans won't be
no,
able to
no, no,
have
no,
this. He doesn't want fat fans.
from the training ground. Sorry, and post-training sandwiches are cut out, and he's like, I noticed some of you people are overweight, and I don't want any overweight players. Like this is
And
such a
what was Nuno allowing the players to have?
dude, this is such a very specific Conte spiel.
Damn.
This has been repeated over 3 clubs of Conte. Always, you just look at it. The first 3 days of Conte, he first bans ketchup and mayonnaise. Like, I don't know, like, what's his obsession with banning mayonnaise and ketchup? And then he does some changes to food. And always, if you see, there's articles come out first 3 days that his team is unfit, and Conte said he doesn't want unfit players. And and now, and then the journalists had to make sense on how do we manage this along with our love for Pochettino. So the last point of their articles was that the players for the first time feel that they've trained as hard as during the Poch era. So the usual PR is on point.
Uh-huh.
Conte's first game, they had no shots on goal.
Okay.
Everton. And in fact, I think they should have lost the game. There was a blatant penalty
Patent, yeah.
which did not come in through. Conte is a good manager, but you think that now suddenly Tottenham are a force for top four?
Yeah, they're a decent. They're in a decent shot for top four because it's only been 11 games. They're not too far behind on points. A few decent results, a few good draws at the top three, the top three favorites for the Champions League positions, and they'll be pretty close. Spurs will be pretty close in the fourth.
So it'll all come down to the United versus Spurs game.
No, absolutely not. That will be a useless game.
Why? Dude, you mean United? Oh, the one manager is doing well, Mikel Arteta. We can't seem to we just don't find the time to talk about him. But
Yeah,
he's
because his matches are not that interesting. I think. I mean, he's won a couple of games 1-0, so you
couple.
ended you ended
Ew.
up not talking about him. But
Isn't he on like a 10-game winning streak?
yeah, but fair enough. I think his last two games were 1-0. The last one at least was 1-0. I think ESR scored in this one against Watford.
Yeah, do our friends from Arsenal believe again?
Yeah, I sure hope so. I mean, happy
To
Arsenal
hope
fans are
our
good.
friends believe.
Yeah. It's. I mean, happy, hopeful Arsenal fans make for good content later on when they come down.
All right. And you sell Jack Grealish, you get sacked. That's what Dean Smith learned the hard way, man.
Ah,
Ah, and according to rumors, Steven Gerrard is close to
damn. That'll be. I think the Scottish League isn't all that great, so it'll be a big step directly going to Aston Villa.
no, it's not. And I actually prepared. I did full research before coming on
Acha,
for today's pod.
right?
And I'll tell you,
Mhm.
so one of the things was, there are all sorts of statistics on how a manager plays and what's his level and all of that thing.
Right.
So they said even though the Scottish League is like bad and crap and everything, Steve Gerrard has basically got Rangers to a level of a mid-table Premier League club. Like literally. Like so let's say tomorrow if you drop Rangers in PL, they'll probably finish like 10th, 11th or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And he took that club from nowhere,
Right.
they were like in really bad state. So they were comparing the managerial chops of Steve Gerrard versus Frank Lampard,
Mhm.
who probably is more suited and who probably is a better manager at this point.
Right.
And they said that there are a lot of stats and pointers which are pointing towards that Steve Gerrard actually is a much better prepared manager than like Lampard and all of them.
Okay.
So
Let's see. I'm hoping he does well because I do want to see him at Liverpool.
I know why you want to see him at Liverpool. You know, you know that when Klopp like goes,
Leaves.
yeah, then Michael Edwards, the director of football, has left, and people are like, "Are you going to Newcastle?" He's like, "No, no, 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 I'm not." They asked that of Eddie Howe also. You think Newcastle is hiring Michael Edwards? He's like, "I don't know. They don't make
No,
director of."
but given how well the transition of Liverpool from a mid-table team to a top team is, he would be a good acquisition for our club.
No, they need Michael Emenalo. They need some Chelsea magic on the club. But yeah, finally Newcastle seem to be making some moves, and with Aston Villa gone, but they need victory, man. I hope Eddie Howe can get 2-3 victories.
Yeah. He will get a few wins before the end of the year.
All right. What else did you observe on the weekend, Yash, before they went on an international break?
Though, I mean, unfortunately, I watched the Manchester Derby, which was
That's
disastrous for my
okay.
team.
Let's not talk about Manchester Derby. We've done a lot of Ole talk. Let's talk about West Ham.
Right.
Why is David Moyes doing so well at West Ham? The
Well,
fans suddenly love him. They're the guys who hounded him out
yeah. The
along with
first
the
time they hounded him out,
yeah.
but he's having a wonderful time, and the thing is that they recently moved from their old ground at the Bowling Ground to this stadium, and the fans hated this stadium.
Not
And,
anymore.
and the pandemic struck, so it's everything is falling in place for David Moyes to do well. Like when the pandemic struck, he was newly appointed, and without the fans being there, he got the team to play well with Bowen and Suchek, and then Lingard came in and scored a few goals. They finished pretty high on the table. Now they're in the Europa League. They're winning in the Europa League. Now that the match-going fans who were starved of football, have come back, and maybe posterity will remember David Moyes, who made the London Olympic Stadium as West Ham's home stadium.
Yeah, it will. I mean, after everything he's gone through and found a long road of resurrection after your club destroyed his reputation. I am actually quite. I mean, it's so nice to see like him all happy and chirpy and celebrating with Kurt Zuma. I was like, wow. Is
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe the cynic or the Manchester United fan in me tells me that this is all a mirage, and this will be just this season unless he gets Champions League football, which I don't think he'll get top four. But if he wins unless he wins the Europa League, this will all come crashing down next season. Next season,
why?
Because I mean, his better players will get picked by better teams, and his football will get found out. And football's not the same anymore. At Everton, he could finish fourth in 2004, and then he sort of kept dropping below as money came into football. But Everton, which is a much bigger club than West Ham, was okay with it because football was different in the 2000s. Now, managers, I mean, their duration, their tenures are less.
It's
West Ham, those West Ham fans like attacking football, and they're a crazy bunch. They're not the patient Leicester City or
but West Ham
that
is
type of.
playing decent attacking football, like Antonio and Bowen, Edwards, Declan Rice. The only fellow who I suspect will go is Declan Rice.
Declan is world class. He needs to.
Yeah, not the other. He'll come to Chelsea,
Right.
but not the other guys, dude. Other guys are going to stay. West Ham pay well, and if they continue to get Europa League, there's only so much place. And I think Jadon Sancho should be put out as an example for every club manager, like for like anyone who wants to say, oh, I think I can go to like Manchester United or City, they should just show Jadon Sancho's photo and say, you think he's playing? He's not. So you just take a little more money and stay here. They're not. Which club is going to give Suit like 60 million for Suchek? He will stay. Where will he go?
I don't know. He might come to our club.
That's not happening. The biggest fear.
Well, even Antonio is like an aged guy, dude.
31.
I don't think he's gonna. I mean, he's such a battering ram and he's so useful, but it's not like he's gonna have a long career.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Moyes will have to find out a goal scorer and some other tactics to score because other teams are gonna soon find out.
Whatever, man. I think we just worry too much about what will happen in the future. We know everyone knows some manager will be sacked in 18 months. So as long as you're playing well, why not? And West Ham, do you think? Forget Champions League. Do you think they can win Europa League?
Dude, I'm totally backing them to win Europa League. I'll enjoy an English team winning this.
Yeah, I can like wholly back West Ham because I have like a lot of love for David Moyes. And they asked him, like, they started doing comparisons. You know, Leicester were third at this point,
Right.
and you are also third. Do you think you're going to win the league? And he didn't give any memorable Billy Dong, and all. So, or our aim is only 40 points. He didn't do anything of that sort. So I don't think charisma is his strong suit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
And he knows better, right? I mean, English football was not at a good place in 2016. It's at a very good place right now.
Okay. So what do you mean he knows better? Like,
No, like I said, like the English clubs were not that strong in 2016. They barely ever got past the round of 16 of the Champions League.
that was the end of
The creme de la creme went to like the Real Madrids and Barcelonas and all. Right now, some of the best players in the world are in the Premier League, and the clubs are the top teams are much better.
All right. We should take a break right now. And since I don't watch international football, which is not like a recognized tournament, so you need to find out 2 matches for people to watch over the weekend. And that's what we're going to discuss after the break. So stay tuned to Football Twaddle.
Hello, everybody. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. An app for extramarital relationships sounds interesting? Well, it exists, and it's booming. On GBCD, Farad and Sunetru talk to Sybil Shadel from Gleeden, a dating service primarily marketed to women. On Simplified, the gang discuss the phenomena of sports washing illustrated by the recent Saudi takeover of the Newcastle United Football Club. On the Life Manifesto, Sarina explains various lessons from Charlie Plum's life and how we can apply them to our own lives. On Say No to Drama, Chetna is here to slice the drama around workaholics and help understand the consequences of our choices. And learn how to simplify your personal finances on Paisa Vaisa as Anupam speaks to co-founders of 5 Money, Sujit Narayan and Sumit Golani. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week: Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quarter, CoinSwitch, Kuber, Slate Coffee, Intel, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and Oxfam India. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Welcome back to Football Twaddle. Yash, what's up?
Hey, man.
All right, let's get straight into this. The player of the week for you. Which player has impressed you?
Player of the week for me is Declan Rice, as we mentioned before. He was fantastic against Liverpool. To play well against that midfield, you need to be world class, and this kid is brilliant.
Sometimes friends are just as good as each other, like Mason Mount, Declan Rice. Like, what was this gang? Where were they growing up together? That they are best friends who play so well, and who have the misfortune of being managed by Gareth Southgate as well. Yeah, Declan Rice. Which club do you think he's going to go to next season? Like, if you had to take a guess.
Dude, I hope he comes to Manchester United.
You can hope whatever, but what do you think is actually going to happen?
I think that will happen. United will stay in the top four, will splash like 100 million, because I don't see any other club being that desperate.
For Declan? No,
Yeah.
not really. Who will? Like, City probably will not, but yeah, United. You know who's my player of the week?
Tell me,
Isaac Hayden.
who the hell is that?
I knew you would ask that. Newcastle drew 1-1 with Brighton. Newcastle had only one shot on target, and you know
Right.
who scored the goal?
Isaac Hayden now.
Isaac Hayden.
Hey, I just know him as Hayden from FPL. Dude. That's all I know.
Yeah.
He's like,
So Hayden from FPL is my player of the week.
oh man.
Giving our well-liked team a deserved point. Not really,
Fantastic.
but a point. And ensuring that we did not lose another game. And that 1 point has taken us above Norwich on the table.
Wow.
Who?
Hey, not bottom anymore.
Huh?
Not bottom anymore. Amazing.
Dude, we were not. We were bottom for like a day because Norwich won. And then this, imagine Norwich. They are such a decisive club. Means they had to sack this manager 3 years ago, and they like finally got their act together. And as right before the international break, they sacked him. But yeah, so Newcastle is 5 points on the 19th, already 5 points from safety, 0 wins. But Isaac Hayden has removed us from the 20th position. So he is my player of the week.
Brilliant.
This is international weekend. Yash,
Yeah.
just name 2 matches and just tell us what those 2 matches are going to be as well. Like, what sort of are they qualifier, friendly? Why should we
No,
watch?
they're all qualifiers. I think the one game that really stands out is Spain go to Greece. It's a World Cup qualifier group stage match, and
Why does it stand out?
so it stands out because qualification may be like possible if Greece managed to beat Spain. They're 4 points off. They'll be just 1 point off at the end of it, and qualifications is not heating up. It's in the middle, but no. As I was saying, Greece are 4 points off. They have won a couple of games before, and if they manage to beat Spain, then this group will be pretty interesting.
I only have one question. Is Angelo Caristi still playing for Greece?
No, I'm sure he's like on some Santorini type island chilling.
So Christie is out?
Yeah.
Or like, what's the other game?
The other game is the proverbial England versus San Marino.
Oh man,
They're literally playing San Marino. That's I know that's held up as an example of a game that should not take place.
wait, but I have never understood why does England play San Marino so often? Like, there has to be a reason, right?
I don't know. They ended up. This is not a friendly. They ended up drawing in the same group of World Cup qualifiers, and England are at the absolute top with 20 points from 8 games, and San Marino are at the absolute bottom with 0 points from 8 games, and their goal difference is -31. England's goal difference is +21. I think if you want to watch a goal fest, maybe like a double figure score line, this will be a fun game to watch, and you'll have a few Premier League stars to watch along.
How many goals will Harry Kane score?
Now that Conte is here, I think his career will be rejuvenated, and he'll score a brace.
Oh man, England San. What will be funny? Like San Marino just like draw the game. England hit the woodwork like 7 times, but San Marino draw the game.
I hope that happens, man. It'll be too funny.
Crazy. People will go mental, but man, really, this what's Germany up to? Like Germany, Italy, are they not even?
No, I mean, most of the teams are pretty comfortable. Like the Spain seem to be the only team which is second on the table in their group.
Spain,
Portugal, I wouldn't say they're struggling, but they're second. That's it. And 2 teams qualify from each group. That's about it.
But Spain second or first?
Spain is second.
Oh, so if they beat Greece, they will go up to 1 point.
No. Then see, so they trail Sweden by 2 points.
So Greece is not even there in the
Greece is if Greece wins, the group can become interesting. So that's why this is a pretty crucial game.
All right, man. Whatever. I'm going to just watch the England San Marino as you have suggested. Just need to see some goals and light-hearted entertainment.
Yeah, it will be a lot of fun.
All right. Okay, Yash.
All right.
Take care, man.
Farewell, buddy.
And 10 days, just chill out, relax. And because I think now once football starts, it's going to go on till January 2nd, 3rd, right?
Till February. That's just the FA Cup break, right?
Don't clubs have a 15-day break or something? They try to give 15 days.
This is not. This is in England. That doesn't happen. Only they have a week off.
Please read up about this. We will talk in the next week's episode. But now, FA is trying to give clubs a 10-day break from Jan first week onwards.
Let's see.
They tailor it in such a way.
All right.
So I think that's the truth. If it's not, whatever, you please read up about it, and we will talk about it next week. Take care, man.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
If you love cricket, listen up. The Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast is here for you. Hosted by DJ, Varun, and me, Ashwin, we bring a fun, fresh fan's point of view to talking all things cricket. Sometimes it's just the three of us, sometimes we have guests, including current and former international cricketers. For new episodes every week, check out the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast on the IVM app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Eventually, you'll see the end of your childhood.
Get accustomed to womanhood.
Enjoy the experience of sisterhood.
Might get to wifehood.
Or not. Choose motherhood.
Or not. You'll learn to define your personhood.
Earn a livelihood.
Change the neighborhood.
And get rid of the falsehood that life post-academia is easy.
So join me, Natasha.
And me, Ayushi.
On a journey from station starting point.
To station, what now?
Next station, Pudin station. And hopefully, Agla station, adulthood.
Fresh episodes out every Thursday.